Andor has never been a series chock full of Star Wars Easter eggs, but I still picked out a decent amount from the fourth arc. Here are all the bigger ones I caught. Throughout these final episodes, we get references to the Empire collecting Kyber on Jedha. We see Saw attacking their Kyber shipments on Jedha in Rogue One. Lonnie Young directly connects the Public Order Resentencing Directive to the Death Star as well. The audience knew prisoners were building parts for the Death Star thanks to Season 1, but I don't think Luthen had ever directly connected PORD to the Empire's mystery project before. Young also mentions labor camps. I think Narkina 5 would fall into that category, but we also see Jyn Erso working at one on Wobani, which is discussed further in the book Rebel Rising. At Imperial Detention Center and Labor Camp LEG-817, prisoners were said to make machine parts, and it's not a stretch to assume they would also be installed into the Death Star. After Luthen leaves Lonnie dead on a park bench, his body is found by a Tuca Cat, creatures that were first created for the Clone Wars animated series. Luthen shows Dedra a knife called a Nautolan Bleeder. Nautolans were alien species made famous by Kit Fisto in the prequels, and you can see a carving of a Nautolan on the hilt of the blade. On display in the shop, you can see a headpiece belonging to Naboo royalty like Queen Amidala in The Phantom Menace, and it's out next to what looks an awful lot like a Gungan skull, which is maybe the worst thing Luthen has. There are a ton of other cool Easter eggs in the shop, like the Keldor mask, the Mortis tablets, and a Twi'lek Calicori, but those were all present in Season 1 as well. I'll link to a video I did about all those items if you want to see more. After Luthen stabs himself, he is taken to a hospital. The top of the building is labeled with the name Lina So. This might be my favorite Easter egg of the season. Lina So was the name of the Chancellor of the Republic during the High Republic era. She presided over the Nile threat as seen in the High Republic Publishing Initiative. It makes sense that she might have a building or two named after her, so maybe this is Lina So Memorial Hospital or something like that. Inside, you can see a being floating in Bacta, which is exactly the kind of thing you should see in a Star Wars hospital. In flashbacks, Luthen sells a Deveronian victory necklace to a local art dealer. Deveronians were the horned beings first seen in the Cantina in A New Hope. In another flashback, we see Luthen and Kleya attack Imperials on Naboo, which was confirmed in the StarWars.com episode guide. It's fitting that one of their first acts against the Empire would have been on the Emperor's homeworld. The final arc features the first appearance of Comp Force, the ISB's military branch. They were first created for a role-playing sourcebook in the 90s, which established their kind of helmetless stormtrooper look. Major Partagaz orders Hirt to tell people Kleya is diseased so people will turn her in. This goes all the way back to his first scene in Season 1, where he compares the ISB's responsibilities to that of a health provider. While Cassian, Melshi, and K2SO gamble together, they drink Revnog. That alcoholic drink was first created for Andor Season 1. When Cassian leaves Yavin to rescue Kleya, an angry voice tells him to return immediately. That's the voice of Tony Gilroy, who also tried to stop Rogue One from leaving in the movie Rogue One. K2 claims the last time he was on Coruscant, he was part of a military parade where the Emperor saw him and 200 other KX units. I imagine this was for an Empire Day parade, a yearly celebration of the end of the Clone Wars and the creation of the Galactic Empire. Parades like that have been seen in Star Wars Rebels and the flagship Star Wars comic run by Charles Soule. As Cassian and his crew escape Coruscant with Kleya, several police gunships can be seen converging on the apartment building. Those ships first appeared in the Clone Wars Season 5 and have appeared in several Star Wars stories since. Private Weems returns to the Yavin base after first appearing in Rogue One. Admiral Raddus also returns, still portrayed by Stephen Stanton, who voiced the character in Rogue One and also voiced Grand Moff Tarkin and Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Rebels. Raddus mentions General Merrick being gone. I was bummed they couldn't get Ben Daniels back for a little cameo. Blue Leader was one of my favorite characters in Rogue One. Senator Tenra Pamlo also appears as part of the rebellion. She was the senator from the planet Terrace, first seen in Rogue One. She is joined by Senator Noer Jebel of the planet Uter. He continues to be a real Debbie Downer about literally everything. While he isn't seen, Tivik gets a couple mentions. He was Cassian's contact on the Ring of Kafrene at the very start of Rogue One. Major Partagaz listens to Nimic's manifesto in his final scene, lamenting that he couldn't stop its spread. This also goes back to his insistence that the ISB should be viewed as a health provider, looking for symptoms of rebellion. The final minutes of the series is a montage where we catch up with several characters. We can see Melshi jogging with a group of rebels, including Pow, the Drabadan rebel who joins the mission to Scarif in Rogue One. We also see Dedra has now been imprisoned on Narkina 2, as specified by the StarWars.com episode guide. But those are all the major Easter eggs and references I caught. Let me know what I missed in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our Andor coverage, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.